Hi, I am Madge Williams. Thank you for tuning into my channel. My passion for understanding and addressing abuse stems from a personal experience that have shaped my life and my perspectives. I have actually seen firsthand how abuse affects individuals and their families. So I am committed to sharing insights that can help break the cycle of abuse and build healthier relationships. Today I'll be discussing, why do people abuse others? Do you know that in America, every 20 minutes, people are physically abused by an intimate partner? In the United Kingdom, where I live, an estimated 4.8% of people aged 16 and over experience domestic abuse. These staggering statistics highlights the prevalence of abuse. Abuse is an issue that transcends borders and cultures. It is affecting millions of lives worldwide. At its core, abuse stems from the desire to gain and maintain control over an intimate partner. Abusive individuals always feel the need to control their partner. They always prioritize their own emotions, desires above everyone else. You see, this toxic dynamics dismantles equality in relationship, leaving victims feeling undervalued and disrespected. Often the question that arises is, what really drives others to abuse their intimate partner or their loved one? Research has actually shown that abuse is a learned behavior. It is not inherent. It's not a situation where they could say, oh, the dad used to abuse his mom, therefore the son or the daughters, they've inherited it. It's not inherent. It is a learned behavior. To understand it, it is important to look at the societal, psychological, environment, and emotional factors that contribute to this behavior. The first one is the learned behavior. Abuse is often modeled and perpetuated by environments. Your environment, such as your family, your cultural norms, your social influences, people you surround yourself with. For example, children who grew up in an abusive homes may internalize it, and they will think it's a normal way to resolve conflict or even a normal way to assert dominance. The number two factor, desire for power and control. A key motivating factor for abusers are the desire to dominate and control. Abusers often feel entitled to dominate and control their intimate partner. They control what they do. They want their own feelings and needs to be prioritized over their partner. So their desire is the first and foremost. Every other thing doesn't matter. And they often enjoy that sense of power that comes with exerting that control. They enjoy the relationship. The third factor here is mental health challenges. Untreated mental health problems, such as depression and trauma, can exacerbate abusive tendencies. While mental health should not be an excuse for abuse, research and studies have shown that mental health problems play a role in the development of abusive behavior. The number 4 point here is personal traits. Certain personality traits, such as low self-esteem, narcissistic tendencies, and the lack of empathy. Have you ever seen someone who lacks empathy? They don't feel anything whatsoever. These traits may make individuals prone to using manipulation or aggression to meet their needs. The number 5 point is past traumas and experiences. Childhood abuse, exposure to violence, or other traumatic experience can shape a child, it can shape an individual's perception of relationship and also their coping mechanism. For example, a person who grew up in a violent household may replicate patterns in their adult relationships without even realizing it. You know what? Abuse tend to strive more in secrecy because most of these people feel ashamed to talk about it. Tactics like gaslighting, intimidation, and coercion are designed to keep victims silent and also isolated. Because this secrecy not only enables abusers to maintain control, but also it creates barriers for victims seeking help. That is why it's important to tell someone, tell a friend, tell someone you trust, tell a family member. Because the more you keep it quiet, the more it will keep happening, and the more you might be suffering in silence. How do we break this cycle of abuse? One major way of breaking this cycle of abuse is by speaking up. Is one of the ways that it can be addressed. There is a young man called John. John's childhood was a battlefield. His father's explosive and physical outburst left an indelible mark on John's psyche. As a child, John often found himself cowering in corners, desperately hoping to escape the chaos. Despite the turmoil, John vowed to be different when he grew up. Years later, John met a beautiful young lady called Sarah. Sarah was kind, very compassionate woman who brought light into the life of John. Their relationship started with love, with understanding, laughter, and respect. But as time went on, the shadows of John's past began to creep in. Every small disagreement would ignite his temper, and he found himself mimicking the controlling behavior that he despised in his own father. Sarah now became the target of his misplaced anger and insecurities. As John's unresolved pain resurfaced in a very harmful way, one evening after an argument, Sarah had to confront John with tears in her eyes. And she said to him, "I can't keep living like this. You need help. Please get help." Her words struck a chord. For the first time, John saw the reflection of his father in his actions, and it terrified him because these were the same things that his dad was doing that John so much despised. John, very determined to break the cycle, he sought therapy to address his trauma and to learn healthier ways to communicate and cope. John's journey wasn't easy, but it was very transformative. Through counseling and self-reflection, John began to understand the root of his behavior, took responsibilities for his actions. John's story underscores the importance of confronting our past to prevent it from dictating our future. Understanding the root causes of abuse and how to prevent it is vital. It is important at this juncture to dispel the myth that abusers are monsters. They are people like yourself and myself. People that are loved, people that are also likable. They are human beings shaped by their environments and their experiences. This understanding, to be honest, is not meant to excuse abusive behavior, but to highlight that abuse is preventable because it is a learned behavior. By addressing its root causes, such as past trauma, societal norms, and learned behavior, we can work towards meaningful prevention and intervention. Abuse is a complex and deeply troubling issue, but it is not insurmountable. It's not bigger than us. By fostering awareness, providing education, and creating supportive communities, we can dismantle the cycles of abuse. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this topic. Please do leave your comments on the comment section. Thank you for watching today. And as always, God's blessings.